Potential threats to student safety and videos of school violence hitting social media first are raising passionate scrutiny about how the Guam Department of Education informs its stakeholders of potential dangers on campuses. Vice Chair of the Guam Education Board, Maria Gutierrez, advocating for a better way to communicate these situations with GDOE parents and guardians, along with the wider island community, during this month's GEB meeting.
Stakeholders have to be informed. As long as there's something at the school, regardless whether it's a real threat or not, the parents have to be informed because it's already out on the social media before the parents are saying, "Did you see this? My daughter goes to JFK, but she's a Simon Sanchez student. My son is at FB Leon Guerrero. They said there's a lockdown there."
The vice chair's critique comes in the wake of the recent riot at John F. Kennedy High School, where Simon Sanchez students engaged in fights during a double session on campus. The unfortunate incident captured and circulated widely on social media, depicting a disturbing trend of high school violence, with GDOE Superintendent Dr. Kenneth Swanson addressing both the broader scale and smaller instances.
Commonalities are alcohol has been involved in several cases. On 3 campuses, students came to school intoxicated. Others were drinking at school before engaging in fights. 2 campuses involving 3 student bodies have had larger scale fights or riots, as our regulations call them. In all cases, some participants are 18 years old and have been charged as adults. In some cases, details were not communicated to upper management and were discovered first on social media.
And while Swanson says steps are being taken to improve the flow of information from the building level up to GDOE headquarters to stay ahead and provide resources, Gutierrez recalls a time when communication was efficient.
During Mr. Fernandez's time, always on the chat, there's a bomb threat, there is a fight, this thing, and all the board gets to know about it. But for us, no, we have to wait for the news tonight at 6 o'clock to find out what's happening in our school system. The parents are worried whether their kids is gonna, all these things happening in the States. They're worried about their kids. So you need to let your deputies, your principal know whether it's just a picture, and it's shown at the school. Inform the parents. Because if you're not a parent, maybe you don't worry.
It's a conversation to solve student violence that will continue with the island's Attorney General on December 27th. Meantime, the issue remains among the laundry list the Guam Department of Education is hoping to tackle. The GEB receiving GDOE's Head Start program's monthly report as its March 5th federal compliance deadline looms.
The fencing needs to be done. It can't be a plan. It can't be like in the process.
So the fencing has to be done.
Right. Because what is important is that the children must have an outdoor play area that's free, that's safe, and free from all of that stuff. So that's
non-negotiable.
Right, the fence.
But
LAPE getting word that the bid for fencing should be open by January, followed by a contract issued by mid-January and installation by the end of February. She adds that procuring a playground apparatus should also be underway to meet the timeframe set forth. Other areas of deficiency being addressed include getting a second opinion on testing for lead in the waters at Juan M. Guerrero, Machinano, and Weddingale Elementary School.
They will be testing J.M. Guerrero and Machinano, as well as Weddingale, the new classroom. So in July, we tested the first classroom and the cafeterias, and they passed. But now we have this new classroom and a sink is installed in there, so we will be testing it with this purchase order.
This is testing for lead in paint at PC Lujan Elementary, and the new Weddingale classroom are underway. To include other improvements Head Start needs to make.